Yeah, and I really like what you guys do now for a competition with Drift Indy Street League, which I think is the best thing that needed to happen, and I think it's the perfect thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Street League is I mean, that again, that didn't happen overnight, right? So, the idea of Street League really started back in 2014. 2000, excuse me, 2015, I believe. I can't remember the year. Um, but like 4 years ago. I don't know. Whatever. I've only had one beer, by the way. I'm not even drunk. Um, but my mind is shot. But in reality, that idea was, hey, dude, like let's test this, right? Like let's see how it works out. We actually ran a street league event down in Orlando too. That first year that we did it, and it was cool. I remember Jeff Donati flying down there. Jeff Stoneback was already down there just shredding and hanging out, and it's just for me, Street League is kind of complementing, for me personally, Drift Indie Street League is kind of complementing the last, call it 15 years of doing this, right? And just kind of bringing it to just like one style of event that kind of complements the guys that want to be a part of it, right? So for
Yeah,
me, it's the passion behind it is I think the driving force of why it's such a good idea of what we're doing, and we're not overcomplicating it, right? So I think that's the huge thing. Like, dude, it's really dress up your car, have some pride, have some passion, style it up. Of course, yeah, you got to be able to shred and be a decent driver. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
To get approved for that, but it's not the overcomplication of a rule book that's this thick
yeah,
to run in a competition, right? And we're trying to limit those drivers by like the tires that they're running and the tread wear, and not trying to get too nerdy with it with like, oh, you can only have 240 horsepower, bro. Like we're not trying to do all that bullshit. We're trying to, at the end of the day, is have fun, let the dudes shred, let them high five of each other. Get some good partners kind of involved, and just see where where this takes us past this year, because this year so far we haven't done anything.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And
we haven't done
we can get to that,
yeah, we haven't
but
done anything yet, but yeah, what's coming, man, it's going to be pretty cool, and very, very excited, to be working with all of my guys to bring that to the Midwest. So
yeah. Yeah, and I think it's kind of the cool aspect that you can get like a good driving event where you don't have to where it's more style based and you don't have to have a team because I know like the final bout guys kind of kicked off the whole team aspect of it, and for some people it's kind of hard to get three buddies with like-minded style and a car to get together, but with you guys it's kind of nice because you can go out there, go by yourself, or go meet up with some buddies that you want to and like compete and have some fun. And
yeah, yeah,
one
and
of the
at the end
bit
of the day, yeah. No, go ahead. But I mean, at the end, yeah, you hit it right on the head, dude. At the end of the day, it's just fun, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. And I'm guessing for maybe part of the day you have like the competition and the rest of the day it's probably like open tandem sessions and stuff like that. Yep.
the whole event is actually.
Oh,
So the
okay.
whole event, yeah. There's not like you see. So like people are like when you hear comp, right? Like the traditional qualifying thing is like I'm sorry, I'm like pulling it up here on my other screen, like the rule book, because I don't even
Oh,
fucking know
you're
the
fine.
rules. So I didn't even memorize like the my own rules or whatever. But
I
um
thought I thumbed through it earlier and tried to make sure I knew everything I could about it because I definitely
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I it piqued my interest, and if whoever's out there is listening to this, if you want to know more about it, go check out the rule book. It is like so simple but yet so awesome. Like it's
Yeah,
perfect for the weekend
it's a two
warrior that
pager.
wants to go out.
Yeah, exactly. It's a two pager, man, and I think it's bringing out like a lot of the old school dudes. Like I'm excited to see Derek King. I mean, I haven't seen Derek, kind of like in that drifting atmosphere in years. I mean, he's one of my top favorite drivers of all time in the Midwest, right? So to see him come out like a lot of people don't know this, but he is an FC driver.
Yeah.
Derek King's been driving FC since like the very beginning. To see him kind of come back out after all these years and is going to be very exciting, but yeah, I mean, like the whole event is shredding the whole time, right? So like these dudes get like all of this seat time. We're limiting it to 32 drivers because all 32 of them get to compete, right?
Yeah.
And and it's going to be set up like fucking randomly. Like driver 1 versus driver 6. Here you go. Here's your battle, and then they'll battle it out. And then we'll have like awards for dudes that like, like shredder of the day or some shit like that. The best looking car, we'll get like an award. We've always had this like ride the wall award that we've had for like fucking 10 plus years, right? Dudes that just, ride the wall, like those guys that just run an awesome line and just, get up there and just ride a sweet wave down into the infield at Kill Care is going to be cool. Random tandem is one too that's pretty fun. So it's like me and you pull up to the grid and we take off and we have like a sweet random tandem, like just during practice or whatever you want to call it, shred session, you'll win an award, So it's like little things like that I think get overlooked in competition and get overcomplicated, like in the pro-ams of the world or the competitions where like, hey, we're giving away $10,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
That type of competition is completely different. There's a time and place for that, right? So Street League is none of that.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I liked it, because a lot of the time, like when it comes to traditional drifting, if you don't make like your top 16 or top whatever, you're done. You're like, pack it up, just go home, because you're not driving after that. Like,
absolutely. And this goes from what we've learned with the years past, right? With MDU. I mean, you said it earlier. I mean, we ran MDU for years, and we would get, let's go back. We could rewind this shit back to like 2010, 2011, 60 cars show up, right? You sit there and you have to qualify all those cars. They all get 2 runs to qualify. So for the judges, it's hard. For the drivers, it's hard. Everyone's watching. It's cool. It's a judge sport, so it is what it is, right? You only get a top 16 out of those 60. Everyone else's day is done, right?
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Everyone that really knows me knows what I'm going to say to you guys that didn't qualify and didn't make it into the top 16. We have drift days coming up for you for that to get better and drive with your buddies. But, the times have changed, right, Mike? So, like, in reality, man, like, I think we've thought of all that when putting Street League together, and everyone that gets, goes through the application process and our staff picks you and you're able to come, you're going to get all the seat time. You're going to get all the competition that you can, right? But obviously you'll get a top 32 and you'll work your way down the bracket, but you at least get to like show up and, go up to that line and have that opportunity. But again, it's not about that. It's simply about having fun, making your car look awesome. We definitely don't want all these like cut up shit boxes that later came in our drifting world, right? Have some pride in your builds.